And welcome back, everyone, to Out and About. R.J. Fritz here, along with Elvis. And the Elvis, well, that was quite a gig you had, but I thought you were in Vegas, Elvis.
Well, Fritzy, Vegas is great, but when Mancini's call, I come running. There's nothing greater than being back in St. Paul and seeing my good friends. And I just want to say thank you for having me. Thank you very much. What do you got coming up left on the show?
Well, it's strange you should ask, Elvis, because right here on this really, really big shoe, well, let's take a look.
Meet Amy Brazil, artist on the rise. If Elvis was singing about Amy Brazil, the song would go something like, "You ain't nothing but a dog artist, painting all the time. You ain't never painted a rabbit, and you ain't never gonna paint anything but a dog."
I have people that come in and ask if I'll paint their cat or their horse or their bird or their children, and no, I don't. I just only paint dogs.
When she was a toddler, Amy Brazil dreamed of having her own dog, but instead she had a pet lizard, a salamander.
And my brother ended up taking it out for a walk with a little piece of string, and well, the salamander never came back to the house, and I was so upset for it, like a day, that my parents decided I needed to get my first dog. So they got me my first Lhasa Apso when I was 7, and her name was Yoshi, and that's when the love began, and I've been in love with dogs ever since then.
In the 1980s, Amy designed custom jewelry for over 650 specialty stores. She later took a painting class, and then she combined the two talents into a most unique art form in all of her dog paintings.
So I decided to add the Swarovski crystals in the background, let's say on the Harlequin behind the Boston Terrier. I just felt it was a great way to even bring the painting more to life.
Amy's paintings do appear to come to life as the sparkly crystals glitter with the slightest movement, giving all of her paintings a three-dimensional effect. She was commissioned to paint Harry Winston, the Boston Terrier, for Neiman Marcus. An 8-foot by 8-foot painting by Amy Brazil now graces the halls of Target Corporation's headquarters in Minneapolis. It took her 6 months to complete this gorgeous painting of Target's mascot dog, Bullseye, done with jewels and acrylics.
I don't know how you'd keep focus on what you're doing here when it's such a big scale.
Well, it's just...
You stand back every once in a while and take a look?
Definitely. I had to stand back and make sure that it was proportionately correct.
Any frustration ever set in?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I get to the point where, like, creating the concept and figuring out the backgrounds and doing the sketch and starting out with all the paint is so exciting and so fun, but then the hardest part for me is bringing the dog to life, and that to me is within the eyes.
Her patience and determination has paid off. Amy Brazil has been featured in many local and national magazines. One thing has led to another as she signed many licensing agreements, with more on the way.
I did a license with Department 56, and we've designed a whole line of collectible jeweled boxes. And I have a license with Peking Handicraft, and we're doing embroidered pillows.
I may have to commission you to paint Louie, a Springer Spaniel.
Well, I have painted a Springer. Actually, I would love to paint your dog, but I painted Jade first of all, my Lhasa. The second dog that I ever painted was my Springer Spaniel, Jackson. And then the ideas just started coming to me. I woke up in the middle of the night and said, oh, I think it'd be so funny to paint a bulldog with a bright pink background.
Amy continues to paint only dogs, and her cast of characters like Brutus and Harry Winston can be viewed on her website, amybrazil.com. Next step in her mission is to bring these characters to life in a new children's book.
As I've been creating these, I feel like they all have a tale to tell, and I've been creating a story around these characters. And my biggest dream is to bring them to life, and probably a children's book would be the best format, I feel, at first. But then I just can't wait till I'm at the point where I can call DreamWorks or Steven Spielberg and say, hey, I've got a great concept here.
To get Amy to pick a favorite dog she's painted is like pulling teeth.
Harry Winston, the Boston Terrier with the Harlequin background, which I did for Neiman Marcus, I think stands out, and I think a lot of people love him, and I love them, but I can't necessarily, they're like my kids almost. Each one has their own qualities that I think are kind of charming, so I hope everybody else does too.
I don't think Amy's business will be going to the dogs anytime soon. Oh, and by the way, attention Target shoppers, Amy Brazil has left the building. Stay with us. We'll be right back to visit America's favorite hangar next on Out and About.